Hello everybody, this will either be my last video of 2021 or my first video of 2022, depending on how long it takes to upload it. After editing the video, it's now 10 minutes to 10. But I came across this article a few days ago, and it truly is a tragedy. I came across this article on VK. And this article's from the hulldailymail.co.uk. And it certainly does ask questions why British citizens who are homeless are being allowed to literally rot and die on the streets in this country, yet 30,000 dinghy divers have been given exclusive access to 5-star hotels, 4-star hotels, very good hotels. And I've been in many hotels in this country that allow people to take their pets in, and that is relevant to this story. Let's have a read of the article. The final heartbreaking tragedy of homeless John, who died outside Costa with beloved dog Teddy by his side. Accommodation was sought for John Ellerington just over a week before he died. A desperate bid had been made to find shelter for a homeless Hull man, just days before he was found dead outside a city centre Costa coffee shop with his beloved pet dog beside him. A concerned passerby tried to find accommodation for John Ellerington after seeing his plight in the winter cold. John, 41, was seen by many in Hull. Always with his Jack Russell, called Teddy, by his side. Concerned Sophia Gemma told how she tried to ensure John had accommodation after he told her he had been sleeping rough near the Allenby Road flyover. But after contacting Hull City Council and homeless charity Emmaus, I think that's the right pronunciation, Emmaus, she says she was told there was no accommodation available because John was with Teddy. Days later, early on December 18th, John's body was found outside the Costa on Ferns Way, with Teddy still by his side. Hull City Council has expressed its condolences to John's family and stressed that provisions is available for those with pets who are homeless or at risk of homelessness in the city. Emmaus also issued a statement saying it believed John had access to accommodation before the tragedy. And there's a picture of John Ellerington. Such a tragedy. He was only 41 years old. John would have turned 42 in February. Sophia spotted John and his dog on Friday, December 10th, while attending an event at Hammonds of Hull. I often stop and speak to homeless people, she told Hull Live in a previous article. I've been brought up to chat with rough sleepers and treat them as human beings. After speaking to him, I found out that he had been sleeping rough somewhere near the Allenby Road flyover. He had his tiny dog like a Jack Russell. He had a bad leg and he was freezing. But he told me he could not get anywhere because of his dog. I didn't think this was right, so I called the council's emergency number, but they confirmed to me that they could not find anywhere for him because of his pet. And there's a picture of John and his beloved dog, Teddy. Sophia also said she had been in contact with homeless charity Emmaus, who carried out outreach work to assist rough sleepers in Hull, but don't allocate housing themselves and Hull BID. A guy from Hull BID told me they know the guy but didn't realise he was sleeping rough, Sophia reported. He said he would try and help the man while I also contacted him. He said he would try and help the man while I also contacted Emmaus, who said they would try to find accommodation for him too. Emmaus said they knew the man, who was already on the waiting list for accommodation. They are an amazing organisation who go out in all conditions throughout the year to help the homeless. There's a picture of John. He was a former college student, and he had worked for Wren Kitchens. Tributes poured in for John from friends, family, and members of the public who had brief interactions with him and his dog in the city centre. It is believed John was a former Hull College student who had worked at Wren Kitchens. Flowers and pictures of him were also left outside Costa over the weekend. A council spokeswoman said, "We are sorry to hear about John's death and offer our condolences to his family." Well, the same council didn't do anything when it was alerted to them that this man needed some accommodation. The same council, I'm sure, opening their arms to as many illegal immigrants as possible. Questions need to be asked here, they really do. We also encourage people who are homeless or at risk of homelessness to engage with us early, as we have a range of options available, including provisions for people with pets. However, whether or not people seek or accept our services is a personal choice. After hearing of John's death, a spokesman from Emmaus Homeless Charity said that its own investigation had found John was not sleeping rough. Emmaus has been providing an outreach service to Hull and East Riding councils for the last 5 years. We conduct investigations across both Hull and East Riding. We have not found this individual to be street sleeping. We work hard to support all individuals off the street. We would encourage anyone with information about people sleeping rough to contact us or by downloading our app. The cause of John's death has not been disclosed, though it is not being treated as suspicious. 4 police cars and an ambulance were seen by witnesses attending the scene in Ferns Way on Saturday. In a statement at the weekend, Humberside Police spokesman said, "A man has sadly died. Inquiries are underway to establish the circumstances of the death. However, it is not being treated as suspicious at this time. John's dog, Teddy, since has been cared for by members of his family. A fundraiser to help the family with funeral costs had raised within a day twice its original target of £500. John's brother Mike Everington said of the fundraiser, "Just really want to thank everyone who sent money to the GoFundMe as reaching the goal and more within 6 hours or so, and a thank you to the woman who started it." The fundraiser can be found here. The story of John Allington, I'm sure it's one of many. It's truly tragic that our British people are dying on the streets. The British people who are unfortunate enough to become homeless, and that could happen to any one of us. Um, you know, people who lose their jobs, circumstances are put upon them. It can all come at once, and it makes people homeless. And John wasn't an old man. John was 41 years old. And this death could have been avoided. The council, or a passerby, could see that John was not in a good state and informed the council in Hull. Their excuse for not giving him accommodation was because he had a pet dog. And like I said at the start of this video, I've been in many hotels in this country where people have stayed in the hotels and took their pet dog with them. I've been on the same corridor of customers who've in neighbouring rooms who have a pet dog. So I don't see that. That is a pitiful excuse for the council ignoring somebody who was in a bad way, and in many ways that council in Hull, and it's probably most definitely a Labour council in Hull, but be it Labour or Tory, you vote red or blue, you get the same old shit. That council has blood on its hands. This Tory government that we have currently have housed 30,000 dinghy divers who have entered this country illegally. They've also said that up to 3 million people from Hong Kong can enter this country and take up British citizenship. And then we've got the 25,000 from Afghanistan who aren't illegal immigrants, because the Tory government said they could come in, so they're legal refugees. So we've got the 30,000 illegal refugees, 30,000 and counting, 25,000 Afghanistan refugees, and up to 3 million Hong Kong citizens are allowed to come into this country and take up British citizenship. That's a very large number for 1 year. The bill that was recently voted on in Parliament just before they went away for the Christmas break, they said that, it's law now. You can't be a care worker in this country unless you've been double vaccinated. What many people don't know is that instantly made, I believe it's 60,000 care workers unemployed. 60,000 care workers. And let's face it, they don't get paid a lot of money, but they've been made unemployed. So these people don't get paid a lot of money. They do it's obviously a vocation. They do the job for the love of the job. And our government made 60,000 British people, 60,000 British care workers unemployed with that bill. The very next day, they came out and said that there's a huge shortage of care workers. So we are going to implement a temporary visa for 5 years for people from abroad who are care workers. So the Tory government facilitated, manufactured a shortage in care workers, and then said they are going to give temporary visas to fill the jobs that they've implemented they've implemented the sacking of 60,000 care workers, so we're going to replace them with a foreign workforce. And we all know that a temporary visa for 5 years, if they've been here for 5 years and they want to stay here for 5 years, they will not be going anywhere. So this government we judge them on what they are doing, and they have made British people unemployed, and they are filling their jobs with a foreign workforce. And it's not temporary. If they've been here for 5 years, they'll stay here forever. the same thing. They voted on the same thing in the NHS, and it's going to make 100. I think it's 100,000 NHS workers unemployed, and of course they'll be doing the same. Temporary visas for 100,000 foreign workers. So this Tory government is basically removing people from the NHS and the care working staff who do not comply to the mandate to be forcibly vaccinated, and replacing them with foreign labour. That, the allowance of up to 30,000 illegal immigrants, the gift of 25,000, the gift to Afghanistan that 25,000 Afghanistan refugees can take refugee status in this country and stay forever if they like, and the offer of up to 3 million British passports to people in Hong Kong. This really is the Tory government accelerating the Great Replacement, and nobody can argue otherwise. And meanwhile, people like John Ellerington and many other British people who were unfortunate enough to become homeless are being left to die on the streets, even when they get in such a bad state that onlookers report it to the council. And these British people, unfortunate enough to become homeless, are being ignored. This is not acceptable, and I really do hope that there's going to be many patriots who are going to hold the government to account, because let's face it, Keir Starmer and the Labour Party, they don't hold the government to account. They are not opposition. They comply with this government. In fact, they want to accelerate the Great Replacement even further. If you liked the content in this video, please like, share and subscribe, because it really does help the channel. And I'm going to leave you now with a piece of video footage I came across from London in the 1960s. And what do you notice about London in the 1960s and London today?